Welcome in to Texans Today. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and I'm here on a Saturday. I just wanted to give you all some injury updates. I got my dog, Sadie, right here with me. Oh, whoa. I got my dog, Sadie, right here. If you want to see her pick for Vikings Texans, I just posted it on my TikTok and Instagram. She just made her selection. She thought very long and hard about it. Go ahead. Go on, Sadie. But I wanted to make this video today just talking about some of the injury news around the Texans and Vikings ahead of their Week 3 matchup. So let's get right into it. Let me know what you think about this game. What are your final thoughts day before the game? Let me know down in the comments section. And let's talk about the Texans injury news first. Obviously, we've been talking about the running backs all week long. Joe Mixon listed as doubtful. I'm saying this right now. He ain't playing. If Joe Mixon plays on Sunday, tomorrow, I think that'll be a little bit of malpractice. I mean, this is your new running back. You just signed him to a new deal. You traded for him this offseason. He's injured. I don't like the idea of playing Joe Mixon this week if you're the Houston Texans. I think he should at least just sit out this game. Give it 1 week. Give the ankle a week of rest. I think the Texans will be okay if Joe Mixon just misses 1 week with that ankle. Dameon Pierce, on the other hand, he's already listed out with that hamstring injury. He will not be playing on Sunday, which means our guy, Cam Akers, the guy who really showed out in the preseason, against his former team, nonetheless, should be getting the start tomorrow. He said he's ready to go. He said he's ready to prove everybody wrong, prove all the haters wrong. And he said, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. And I love that attitude from Cam Akers. He should be the guy who gets most of the carries tomorrow up against the Vikings. But don't be surprised if we see a lot of Agumbawale tomorrow. He's been, in there a lot more than I thought. He's been really good in pass protection for this team. So I don't love that every time he goes in the game, it's been a pass so far. Maybe you kind of give him 1 or 2 handoffs to kind of shake that. But you should see a lot of Cam Akers, some Agumbawale. But the big question, will we see British Brooks? Hasn't really played at all on offense this season. Been more of a special teams guy so far for this Texans team. And I want to see some British Brooks, especially in like some goal line packages, some, 1-2 yards to go, maybe 3rd and short, 4th and short. I want to see more British Brooks. Let me know. Do you want to see British Brooks tomorrow? Let me know down in the comment section because I want to definitely see this young kid, the UDFA out of North Carolina. He played really well in the preseason. He's been showing a lot of juice in special teams. I want to maybe see him get a couple of snaps up against the Vikings tomorrow. Now, going from the running back, let's go to the other really point of contention for this injury report for the Texans, the center position. Juice Scruggs, questionable. He did practice twice this week. He's dealing with that groin. Aaron Wilson reported he's on the track to start up against the Vikings. So barring anything in their, pregame workouts, I think Juice Scruggs should be good to go. Jarrett Patterson, on the other hand, he practiced Thursday, did not practice Friday. He is questionable with a calf injury. And that makes me question it a little bit more of he practiced on Thursday and then on Friday was not able to go. Juice Scruggs did practice on Friday. So Jarrett Patterson, I think, is more likely to not play or not be available, not ready to suit up against the Vikings, which means we could see Scott Quesenberry, who was signed to the practice squad, be elevated, or maybe they just feel comfortable with Kendrick Green, who, if Scruggs isn't able to go, he is the next man up. Kendrick Green, not Kenyon Green. Kendrick Green, who the Texans got last season. He was a former early round pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And remember, his position that he came into the league playing and that he played for with the Pittsburgh Steelers was at the center position. Last year had to step in, played 3 games, 0 sacks allowed before he had that season-ending injury last year. But Kendrick Green, I feel semi-comfortable with him being the starting center if need be. But should be Juice Scruggs, according to Aaron Wilson. I'll keep you updated up into game time with any kind of last-second changes that happen with that. We have the Vikings injury news coming up, but I got to tell you about our show sponsor for today, and that is Game Time. Texans football is back, and never miss an opportunity to catch a live game, catch some action with Game Time. And it's not just sports, also comedy shows, concerts, theater, everything that you want to go out and do on a Friday, Saturday night, Game Time, they've got you covered. And they have a new feature on the app called Game Time Picks, which basically just gives you the best deals up front. So you know how you can kind of sort on different like apps, different sites of, furthest to me or closest to me, sort by price. Game Time Picks does it to where it shows you the very best values, the very best deals on tickets to whatever event or, thing that you're trying to go to with Game Time. They give you the best deals and they give you 110% of the difference if you find a ticket that is cheaper in the same section, same seat of an event. That's the Game Time guarantee because they have that lowest price and they guarantee it over at Game Time. Go download the Game Time app and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, go ahead and download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Go check out our sponsor. That link is going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. Now, let's get into the Vikings side of it, which they had quite a bit more injuries than I expected on their end. One actually kind of surprised me a little bit, and I think it might be pretty big. Let's go with the first one, maybe the most obvious one. Jordan Addison out again this week for the Vikings. Was out last week up against the 49ers, out again this week against the Houston Texans. Justin Jefferson, though, the Vikings number one, he will be playing on Sunday. And I know I made a video earlier this week talking about Derek Stingley and how he needs to really shut him down. I think with this news that Addison is officially out, I think you double him. I think you go ahead and you double Justin Jefferson. You have Stingley on him, and then you have some help over the top, or maybe even give Kamari Lassiter a couple of snaps going against Jefferson and have a safety help over the top, really be able to bracket Justin Jefferson, and then maybe have Derek Stingley on the other side locking down Jalen Nailor or Trent Sherfield, whoever is going to be the number 2 wide receiver for the Vikings. I'm pretty sure it'll be Jalen Nailor. He's been playing pretty good, but I would trust one-on-one coverage with Derek Stingley up against Jalen Nailor. So I know I said, maybe shadow Justin Jefferson with Derek Stingley. I wouldn't hate maybe going Kamari Lassiter with safety help over the top, really just truly double teaming Justin Jefferson in that way. I don't know. What do y'all think? How do you think the Texans should go about this? Because Justin Jefferson, he's the number 1 target. I mean, and it's not even close for the Vikings offense right now. I mean, there's no other receiving threat on this Vikings team that even sniffs Justin Jefferson with how much he can contribute and how much he helps this Vikings offense. So I think maybe you double Justin Jefferson. Maybe you put Stingley on the other side one-on-one up against Nailor or Trent Sherfield. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on that down in the comments section, because I personally don't hate the idea of going Lassiter against Justin Jefferson with help. I mean, obviously Stingley, if need be, can go over there and go up against Justin Jefferson, but I don't know. Another guy that's out for the Minnesota Vikings, Ivan Pace Jr., and maybe because he's been in the headlines this week, dating Tiana Robillard, a TikTok star. If you're not on TikTok, maybe ask your girlfriend, maybe ask somebody that you know that's Gen Z, Gen X, whatever, because Tiana, she has been a huge TikTok star ever since, dating Cody Ford of the Cincinnati Bengals, and now she's reportedly dating Ivan Pace Jr., and he's out this week. So I don't know, maybe the correlation's there. But seriously, back on a real note, he will be out up against the Texans tomorrow, which means Brian Asamoah, the former early round pick, or Kamu Grugier-Hill, who's a veteran, been bounced around team to team to team throughout his NFL career. They will be starting next to Blake Cashman tomorrow up against the Texans. This is big because Ivan Pace Jr., since entering the league as a UDFA for the Minnesota Vikings, has been one of their best defensive players since he's been on the team. I mean, he has been outstanding, the UDFA out of Cincinnati. I really liked him in that draft last year, and I'm upset Texans weren't able to draft him or sign him as a UDFA, but with him being out, that affects Brian Flores and his scheme because he likes to blitz his linebackers. And with Ivan Pace Jr. out, that means maybe their defensive strategy, their defensive scheme has to change around a little bit. Another guy on the defensive side that's going to be out for the Minnesota Vikings is Dallas Turner, the first-round pick for the Vikings this year. They had 2 first-round picks. They had J.J. McCarthy. They had Dallas Turner. Both those guys will not be playing up against the Houston Texans. So I'm really interested to see how that kind of affects this Vikings pass rush, because right now, Vikings defense #1 in the NFL in sacks. The Texans are #2. So with Dallas turning out, that does affect things, but they have a lot of guys on that side of the football that can really get after the quarterback. One guy who you all should know, Jonathan Grenard, signed with the Vikings this offseason. We kind of did a swap. We got Danielle Hunter. They got Jonathan Grenard. But because they were able to sign Grenard for a little bit cheaper, they were able to sign another edge rusher in Andrew Van Ginkel from the Miami Dolphins, and he has been outstanding for this Vikings team this year. Another guy we got to watch out for alongside Grenard. And then also, I talked to our Vikings host, Patrick Seatman, and he told me Patrick Jones II. He is somebody you need to keep an eye out for. Third or fourth year in the league, really hasn't done much, but this year has just exploded onto the scene. Looks really good for this Vikings team. Last week up against the 49ers, actually beat Trent Williams on multiple snaps. So that's a guy we got to look out for, and this Texans offensive line still needs to step up. Even though the first-round pick, Dallas Turner, is going to be out, even though Ivan Pace Jr. is going to be out, this Texans offensive line needs to step up this week. Did not have their best game up against the Chicago Bears last week. I'm really looking for them to make a statement on offense this week and really get after it and really enforce their will at the line of scrimmage. That's all the injury news I have on tap for you today. Make sure you subscribe for more videos here on the channel. I'll be keeping you up to date with everything going on around the Houston Texans all year long. And like I said, if you want to see my dog Sadie's picks for this week for Texans versus Vikings, go check it out. It's on my Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. It's on my Instagram. It's at Texans Today CS. And I even have a TikTok at Jeremy Chuggs. So go check it out today. And hope everybody has a great Saturday watching college football. I'm going to be rooting for my mean green North Texas. Please bounce back against Wyoming this week. Last week against Texas Tech, not a good sight. But hopefully they're able to bounce back. I'll be watching them later on today. Let me know what college football game you're watching going on today.